in my face and my neck. I can't eat red meat anymore. I can't have any animal byproducts in anything. And it's in everything. This is alpha-gal syndrome. I love to go hiking. This is f***ing crazy.
That farmers and ranchers are finding boxes of ticks on their property. Now, I don't know if that's fake. I don't know if someone's setting that up to pretend they found these boxes of ticks, but there's videos of these people finding boxes of ticks.
Now, what they'll say is, they'll probably say they're sterile ticks and that we're planting them out there so we can diminish the population, is what they'll say. But anytime they try to mess with the balance of nature, it never goes right.
Is that what they're saying?
No, just get ready. That's what you're getting it right here.
I don't believe you have a right to go to someone's property and drop off sterile ticks.
No way in hell.
That's crazy either way. But I have a good friend of mine who got bit by the Lone Star tick and has that alpha-gal problem.
Yeah, a guy came out of my house yesterday looking at putting gutters up at our house. And he said, and I said, you did what? He goes, yeah, I can't eat any meat produced by a mammal.
Yes.
I was like,
yeah. So my buddy, he had it, and my friend Evan, so he had it for a little while, and then he did a bunch of treatments and got off of it, and then started eating steak again, and he was fine for about a year and a half, and then he came back stronger than ever, and he just can't shake it.
He's been around that long.
So yeah, he can only eat eggs. I mean, he's basically eating eggs and vegetables. That's all he's eating, and every time he tries to deviate, he has a horrible reaction. It makes, for people that don't know, it makes your body allergic to red meat.
Right, and who has got genetically made meat now?
Yeah, Bill Gates.
I work for a private charter company, and
wow, so it's a lot of stuff. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Hakwadash. I also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and peace and love to the Lord's hopeful elect. All right, back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. As the spirit was on me to maybe speak on this, I had came across it, and I usually just try to save these shorts or videos in one of my folders and maybe speak on it when the spirit lead. And but this dude's talking about because of a tick bite, and I did Google real quick alpha-gal syndrome. It says a serious, potentially life-threatening food and tick-borne allergy triggered by the bite of ticks. The bite introduces a sugar molecule into the body, causing the immune system to overreact when exposed to mammal products later. So basically, shit, like the dude is saying, he can't eat meat products basically because of this pestilence, if you will, that this tick carries, man. All right, so what in the hell is that going to cause, man? More psychotic behavior because of the lack of food. The Lord promised us via prophecy, via his word, man, that a famine was going to come. Two types, by the way. A famine of hearing the word first and foremost, which means hearing sound doctrine that makes sense, which is going to lead to a state of chaos, but as well as food insecurity. And the Lord has a host of ways that he could do that.
I can't eat red meat anymore.
He could send locusts to eat and destroy the crops like he did in ancient Egypt. He could put a plague of ticks to make people sick from just eating meat. And look, Esau, Edom, you know that psychologically this is going to do something to him. You know, him being this man that loves his red meat, going back to Esau, Edom, and how I'll bring it the hell out. Matter of fact, let's get into it. And how Esau, let's go to the book of Hebrews, man, and we'll revisit the historical account of your boy Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and his spirit in relation to eating literal red meat. He's a man of the field, a cunning hunter. Esau Edom is described early in the Bible. We see that spirit on Esau Edom this very day, of the spirit that likes to hunt or wild game, etc., and also eat it. And also, he's a bloody man. He like to eat it raw. We've seen that. I'm sure y'all have seen that bodybuilder looking dude, you know what I mean? And all he eats on camera, at least, is fucking raw meat, man. Esau Edom. If I can find the doggone Hebrews, okay, chapter 12 and verse 6. For whom the Lord... Uh-oh, that's not it. Man. All right, so Salakia, this is Hebrews 12 and 16 in relation, going back to Esau Edom and his psychotic mentality because of the lack of literal meat. Hebrews 12:16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. So we're not supposed to be like Esau Edom, being a fornicator or a profane person who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And that's the way that the Lord manifested, the continued promise, the continued blessing. And going back, even to Adam, really, but definitely Abraham. Okay, the promises, man, still going back to that. But Esau, manifested Yahweh Shai manifested through Isaac, giving his two sons Jacob and Esau these two different types of blessing. Esau was supposed to, quote unquote, receive the blessing that we're getting ready to receive, but because of that red meat or the lack thereof, Esau Edom decided to sell his birthright for a morsel of food, man. All right, he's hungry. And how much more so in relation to prophecy? This is what we're talking about. These are the days in which we're going to find ourselves here pretty soon, dealing with a psychotic mentality, man. Esau Edom is going to freak out because he's not a person that just is willing to be a vegetarian, man. And even though a lot of Edomites come in that spirit, scripture speak about that forbidden, abstaining from certain meats, that was, lawful for us to eat. The Lord didn't tell us necessarily to be vegetarians, man. There are specific meats, man, but he did give us good meats to eat, and it is sufficient for us, man. But the whole point, going back to that psychotic mentality in which we're going to see that's upon people because of the famine that's coming. That's part of Jacob's trouble. That's part of the great tribulation, and it's going to happen. The Lord taught us to not be or to be circumspect and not be ignorant of Satan's devices. So we're not ignorant to the process thereof, man. We just have to trust in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and know that these things are coming down. Now they're saying, how is all these ticks coming and stuff like that? Because we know Esau Edom to drop off guns in Chicago. I haven't even been to Chicago. These brothers are testifying, all right, in the spirit of truth, that they're finding throughout history of Chicago at different places crates of guns, man. Esau Edom, we're not the ones that make those guns, man. All right, same thing with the crack, man. We, you know what I mean? Who went over there to Colombia to get that coke and stuff, man, to make that crack? All right. All these things are part of the crafty counsel that Esau Edom and his counterparts, man, and the other heathen nations as well took part in to keep our people oppressed, downtrodden, confused. And now is the time for us to come up out of that mentality, man, because it's time to go home. Well, ultimately, it's time for judgment before we go home. And if you don't want to get caught up in that judgment, you better take heed to the warning. Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel, so not just counsel, crafty, that's cunning type of counsel, like really thought about the depths of how to not only physically destroy people, like by just unaliving us in the streets, having dogs attack us and things like that, but the psyop, the psychological warfare aspect of that crafty counsel is real deep, and you see it manifesting on a daily basis. Look at our men, women, and children. Just look at them and you'll see the crafty counsel at work, all right, against our people and consulting against our hidden ones. Check this out. They have said, come on guys, let's get together and do this, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So this has to be the children, the true children, because the name of Israel is constantly being blasted in front of our face, but they're talking about the fake ones. The Lord taught us about they that say they're of the household of the house of Yahweh Shema Shai, but actually of the synagogue of Satan. That's what the Lord said. I'm paraphrasing slightly, but yeah, that means that there's false people, there's false children of the Lord out here masquerading themselves to be those small hats, man. over there in Israel. It's in constant talk. So I'm saying through the Spirit, it ain't them. They're not the children who the world have taken crafty counsel against. It's us, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The world has said that y'all fake Jews are the real Jews. It isn't you guys, man. They've taken crafty counsel against our people. So we see that now more than ever. That's why we're destroyed. That's why you guys are supposedly the children of the Lord, but your land is destroyed. Your land is filthy. Man, look at the type of celebrations that they have in Tel Aviv and things like that. Over there in Israel, for sure, man, it's a lot of debauchery, a lot of adultery, a lot of orgies that be happening in that so-called holy land. You know why? Because them ain't the people. This is what the Lord has revealed unto his secrets, the servants, the prophets, Amos 3 and 7, right? So now we understand it. But going back into the days ahead, Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, is going to be a lack of bread, a famine. All these things are going to take place. Matter of fact, I bring it out every epistle, dang on near. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 5, and it reads, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, ticks that bite, that causes all type of disease. I remember Lyme disease. I'm showing my age. That was something I learned when I was a kid in the 90s about ticks and Lyme disease. Yeah. Oh, and I had did an epistle a couple days ago about the mosquitoes. They talking about releasing millions of mosquitoes in California and in Florida in the name of harmony. Okay, a homeostasis, let them tell it, man. Trying to restore the balance on the earth. Remember the Georgia Guidestones. They also say they want to keep population to a certain number. Don't listen to this guy. Hey, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. So all these things we take into consideration and filter it through the scriptures. 2nd Ezra 15, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, division, war. The Lord said he came to bring that division, not peace, famine. There it is. Two things again. Hearing sound doctrine, which is the famine of the word, as well as food and water. There's going to be food insecurity. We believe through the Spirit that the earth is never going to stop producing food fully. All right, but there is going to be a way that the Lord is going to prevent your so-called black ass from getting it. If your so-called black ass don't listen to him, death and destruction, and that death could come from a tick, man. That's terror of the Lord. It could come via the mosquitoes, which ain't nothing but the Lord's hypodermic needle. Okay. Destruction for wickedness. This is why, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. Therefore saith the Lord. So this is why the Lord is bringing these things, man, because of the wickedness. It's polluted, and it done damn near affected the Lord's children, which is why he got to get us out of here. We need a deliverance. 2/3 of the nation of Israel don't even believe in a need for a deliverance. That's why they come in the spirit of saying, ain't nobody coming to save us. We got to get ourselves out of this mess, etc., 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 man. We don't have time for that. Verse 8, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. And what you hearing my voice through the Spirit is actually the Lord speaking through me, man. Hey, the Lord is not holding his tongue no more concerning their wickedness. You whores, hey, you wicked men that are effeminate, you wicked children that are disobedient to parents. The Lord is sick of this crap, man, and he's sick of you guys receiving these benefits and not knowing them, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Therefore the Lord gonna execute their judgment, man. Why should he let you continue and let his children be neighbors unto you clowns? He's gonna get us out of here. He's gonna put us above this fire. Behold, literally, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And let me stack that with this. Let's see here. Just bear with me. Right, here we go. The book of Revelation. So continually the justice crying out to Yahweh Bahashem Shai, right? So we'll stack that like we were taught to. Revelation 14 and 11. Here a little, there a little. Revelation 14:11. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night. Salakia, that was the wrong one. Yeah. But yeah, that's the judgment. That's the judgment. Hey, that works though for now. That's the judgment. It's coming to you 2/3, man. The rest of you heathen nations, Esau, Edom, that take that mark of the beast, or hey, you don't have to take that mark of the beast. All you got to do is be wicked or not be chosen. Therefore, if you want to be chosen, you're gonna put on as the chosen. You're gonna put on as a hopeful elect, meaning you're gonna be in that behavior that's found to receive mercy from Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, which means keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Taking rebuke when it's given, man. Not taking that mark of the beast ultimately. And it's the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 62. All right, and let's see, 7. Yep. We'll start at verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls. The prophets are the watchmen, man, the seers. O Jerusalem, that's the nation of Israel. The Lord has set up prophets, watchmen to watch these things, and teachers, etc. Man, every brother has his own office from Yahweh Shema Shai, but we move accordingly through the Spirit to teach, to be a watchman, to warn, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. And that is the point, going back into that continual crying out to the Lord, man, day nor night. The scriptures is saying here, and this is what you experience when you see the men predominantly of Great Millstone going out on the highways and byways, multiple times a week sometimes, but also edifying daily. Right now, try the words of the Lord and see, can't you get fed 24 hours a freaking day from the house of Israel, the sincere, the remnant? You can get fed all day, every day. The Lord got brothers scattered throughout the earth. When brothers is sleeping Babylon the Great here, it's brothers on the other side of the world that has the Spirit of the Lord upon them, that's prophesying, that's teaching, that's rebuking, that's taking rebuke, man. Both on the literal highways and byways, but also, like our apostle taught us, the internet does a lot of the heavy lifting. So we see what's happening here. This is prophecy. It is coming to pass as we speak. That is why you can hear my voice, man. Isaiah 62 right here, man. And give him no rest till he is 62:7. I started back at 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which never hold their peace day nor night. Yet, and the Lord poured his Spirit out upon our flesh to do so. He chastened us to do so. He doesn't have us in the house of mirth and folly. Yeah, he deals with balance, and there's rewards and benefits that come with the Lord that are good and pleasing to us. But for the most part, it's ugly. It's about suffering. It's about being meek. It's about remembering that the servant is not greater than the master. Therefore, we got to continually put on as a hopeful elect, taking that low, all right, and taking heed to the warning that's continually going out on a daily basis. Verse 7, and give him no rest. When? Until he establish what? Until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, not the fake Jews, but the real ones. Until everybody, these other nations, Esau, Edom, 2/3 are reborn in the kingdom. That's when it happens, man. When the whole earth is going to praise Yahweh Shai and that remnant of the nation of Israel, because we get that to be part of getting praised and worship too if we endure unto the end. And it's something we need to remember, meditate on. Getting praise, getting worship, but the right way, and righteousness for all eternity, man. And that's not something that we really set our hearts to, but it's something that I'm not going to shy away from neither, because that's what's coming. All right, that's not why we just desire. We desire to be pardoned. We desire mercy. We want to be in a peaceful state where we don't have to worry. So that's the real goal. We're sorry for our transgressions and things like that, But there's a lot of perks that come with the job, man. And the Lord gave us a little bit inside. Remember, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard the things that the Lord have prepared for those who love him, man. All right. But he did tell us some things that will be rewarded to us. First thing, those new bodies, man. The Lord, Yahweh shall speak very, very well about those new bodies. That means they like the way it looks. They like the functionality thereof. When the Lord blesses, when he created earth, he said it was good. It was good. Hey, when the Lord say something is good, he means that, man. So we talk about the new bodies, that I have a place prepared for you, etc. You could take that to the bank and cash it. It's going to blow your mind how those bodies are going to look. It's going to blow our mind how the kingdom is going to look, how the chariots is going to look, how Yahweh Shah is going to look, how the destruction of the earth will look via the chariots way up there. Brothers mentioned, in dreams and vision and such, that they were on a chariot looking down. It's like it was like glass, man. And like the bottom of the chariot was like glass or some type of crystal or what have you, and you could see it. You know what I mean? You could see the earth on fire. You could see Babylon the Great appearing as a literal lake of fire via the nuclear missiles shot off in World War III. That when our brother saw it, if you know which brother I'm talking about, you need to, that's good. If not, study to show yourself approved. One of our brothers in the end of the book saw in a vision all these arrows, man, these fiery darts, if you will, being shot. Now we understand what the brother was saying. Oh, there were missiles. That's the way he was describing these. Our brother, in the last book of the Bible. So you need to study to show yourself approved. We may start speaking in code to some of you clowns out here, right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Shah. Now I'm just joking. All right. So John did see these things, man. But what the Lord said, going back to Amos 3:7, hey, he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophet. We need to be appreciative of the prophets, man, which is ultimately being appreciative towards Yahweh by Shema Shai. And if you are, guess what you're not going to do? Mock him by mocking his prophets. You're not going to scoff. You're not going to disregard a Yahweh by Hashem and Hawashai. We want to keep our trust, man, because our reward is coming, man. But it is going to get crazy. And going back to the theme, if you will, of the epistle about the famine, the great tribulation, the lack of bread. The Lord spoke about cannibalism coming back. It's spoken of in the book of First Kings or Second, the historical account of that in relation to the women of our nation in her weak state, trying to commit cannibalism, etc. That's coming back. Esau eating, we can believe he's going to spearhead that. He's already in the spirit of eating whatever. Moab is already in the spirit of eating whatever. How much more when the Lord brings this severe judgment upon this earth? I have so many and I could go, but there's no need to make the epistle longer than it need to be. I'll leave it off with something positive here. So yeah, man, let's go to Second Esdras, man. Second Esdras 8 and verse 1, straight to the point. And he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many. So that's why you see wicked prospering here in Babylon the Great around the earth. That's why you see the so-called Arabs with all their golden cars off in Dubai, all the oil that they have. They have palaces, they have tigers all through that bitch. All right, just sleeping, playing with the all-white tiger and things like that, limited edition type tigers and things like that. Oh man, why? Because the Most High, Yahweh is his name. Malak Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten son, hath made this world for many. Did you ever not know in the scriptures, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, but the world to come for few? And that's a good thing to remember if you can receive that. Hey, the kingdom, the world to come, man, is for few, the remnant of the nation of Israel. Not even the entire collective count of so-called black, brown people. No, only a remnant of the black and brown people are gonna make it. Our people acting like they've made it already, and they walk around with their nose up in the air and ain't done nothing. All right, so we just have to remember that there's a great reward to those that endure into the end. But prepare ourselves, because the enemy, that is to say Yahweh by Shema Hawashai, via the test, is finna come with it. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear again to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Till next time, Shalom.